It's Bethany, by the way. I'm 28 now, and honestly, the things I've been through, you just can't make this stuff up. I'm still, processing it all, you know? It's one of those stories where you look back and go, I probably should have seen this coming. But then again, how could I? So, it all started with my uncle, Paul. Now, Paul, bless his heart, he's always been, well, too nice. Seriously, the kind of guy who'd give you the shirt off his back even if he was freezing. Which, honestly, can be a little annoying sometimes because he never says no, and then people just take advantage. Not me, of course, but you know, other people. He's my mom's younger brother, and ever since I was little, he's always been around. Always fixing things, always helping out, always, there. Which, between us, sometimes felt a bit much. Can a girl get some space? Anyway, I was living in this cute little apartment in Dallas. It was okay, not huge, but it was mine, mostly. I mean, I had a roommate for a bit, but that didn't work out. Turns out, some people just don't understand what clean means. So, I was on my own, which meant all the rent, all the bills. And let me tell you, rent in Dallas is no joke. I was working at my job, you know, at the office, doing my thing. It was fine. Steady, but it wasn't exactly making me rich. I had big dreams, you know? I wanted nice things. A really nice bag, maybe a trip somewhere warm, you know? Just something to, feel good about. My finances? Oh, honey. Let's just say they were dynamic. 1 minute I'd have a little cushion, the next it'd be gone, usually on, necessities. You need good coffee, right? And gas prices, don't even get me started. Paul knew I was, struggling a bit. He'd always offer to help, which, thanks, but I'm a strong independent woman. But sometimes, you know, a girl needs a little boost. He'd drop by a lot, help me move furniture, fix my leaky faucet that my landlord was ignoring. He had keys, of course. My mom gave them to him way back when, said it was for emergencies. I never bothered to get them back. Why would I? It was convenient. So, one morning, I'm getting ready for work, and I'm looking for my grandmother's old locket. It was this really pretty silver thing, delicate, with a little sapphire chip in the middle. It wasn't, super valuable, you know? Not diamond-level rich, but it was sentimental. My grandma gave it to me right before she passed, said it was a family heirloom. It was supposed to be kept safe, you know? I usually kept it in my jewelry box, right there on my dresser. And it was gone. Gone. Vanished. I tore my apartment apart. I mean, I looked everywhere. Under the bed, in the laundry, even in the fridge, because sometimes I'm just like that, you know, put things in weird places when I'm distracted. But nothing. And then it hit me. Like a ton of bricks. Who had been in my apartment lately? Who had access? Who knew I had stuff like that just lying around? Paul. My uncle, Paul. I mean, he was the only one. He'd been over a few days before to help me set up a new bookshelf. And I remember leaving the jewelry box open, just for a minute, while I went to the bathroom. Just a minute. And when I came back, he was, fiddling with the books on the shelf, not even looking at the dresser. So sneaky. My stomach just, dropped. No, no, no. Not Paul. But who else? It couldn't be. But it had to be. Between us, I wanted to scream. How could he? My own uncle? This guy who pretended to be so sweet, so helpful. This was just evil. My mind was racing. What a creep. He was probably casing the place the whole time he was helping. Oh my God. I felt violated. Totally violated. I mean, okay, I'm usually pretty good about my stuff. But this locket, it wasn't something I wore every day. It was, for special occasions. so it wasn't like I would have immediately noticed it missing. But Paul, he knows everything. He knows I keep that locket. He probably saw his chance. And the nerve of him. My grandma's locket. This was just beyond. I didn't call him right away. No. I had to, process. And also, I needed a game plan. You can't just go around accusing family members without, some strategy. I mean, I know it was him, but I needed to, make him admit it without me looking like the bad guy. Because I wasn't the bad guy. He was. So, that night, I called him. Kept my voice super casual, you know? Hey, Uncle Paul. How are you? All sweet. Then, I kind of slid it in. Hey, remember when you were over, helping with the bookshelf? I'm trying to find Grandma's locket, and I can't for the life of me find it anywhere. Did you maybe see it anywhere weird? Or accidentally pick it up? And he went, oh, the locket? No, Bethany, I didn't touch anything on your dresser. I was focused on the shelf. He sounded, genuinely surprised. But you know what that means, right? Guilt. Totally guilt. That's how they sound when they're caught. Between us, I was already labeling him a total piece of work in my head. I kept pushing a little, just very gently. Are you sure, Paul? Because it's really gone. And you were the only one who's been in my apartment in days. And then he got this weird, defensive tone. Bethany, I would never take anything from you. You know that. I'm family. Oh, the dramatics. Like he's the victim. I just scoffed, barely audible, into the phone. But he heard it. He asked, what was that? And I just sighed dramatically. Nothing, Paul. It's gone. And I really don't know what to think. I swear, he sounded so uncomfortable. He kept saying, I'm sorry it's gone, honey. I really am. But it wasn't me. And then he said something about coming over to help me look again. Like he's trying to be Mr. Helpful after he, stole from me. The audacity. I quickly shut that down. No, that's okay. I've already torn the place apart. It's just baffling. I made sure my voice was, super sad and disappointed. Weaponized vulnerability, you know? It works every time. He's such a softie. After that call, I was just fuming. But also, a little bit triumphant. Because he was so flustered. It totally confirmed my suspicions. He stole it. And I was going to do something about it. I mean, it's not right. Family or not, you don't just take people's stuff. Especially something sentimental like that. It's disgusting. So, the next day, I started looking into insurance. I mean, I pay for renter's insurance, right? That's what it's for. To protect you from, theft. And technically, it was theft. I called up my insurance company, all calm and collected, and explained the situation. My grandmother's locket, a family heirloom, was stolen from my apartment. I made it sound super dramatic. I was like, I'm heartbroken. It has immense sentimental value, and it was quite valuable, too. Silver, sapphire, antique. I might have embellished the valuable part a little. You know, for accuracy. They asked if I had any suspects. I hesitated. Well, I said, all quiet, like I was tearing up. My uncle, Paul, was the only person who's been in my apartment recently. And he seemed shifty when I asked him about it. He has keys. I mean, it was true. He was shifty. And he did have keys. I didn't technically accuse him to the insurance company, not directly. I just gave them the facts. Let them connect the dots. That's how you do it. You don't make yourself look like the bad guy. They told me they'd open a claim. And then I had to go through the whole thing of estimating the value. I looked up similar lockets online, antique silver, sapphire. I picked out the highest price I could find, of course. Why wouldn't I? I mean, it was stolen from me. I deserve to be fully compensated. And then some, for my emotional distress. I think I wrote down something like $2,000. I figured they'd probably lowball me anyway, so I had to start high. Meanwhile, Paul started acting weird. He stopped calling as much. He stopped offering to help. Like, all of a sudden, he's too busy. And Aunt Carol, my mom's sister, she called me up one day. All casual. "Hey, Bethany, everything okay with you and Paul? He seems a little down." "Oh, please. Like I'm stupid. He's just feeling guilty." I played it cool. "Oh, I don't know, Aunt Carol. He's been a bit distant since my locket went missing. It's just, upsetting." I let the silence hang there. Let her wonder. Let her connect the dots, too. Aunt Carol is such a busybody, she'd spread it around fast. Which was, fine. The more people knew what Paul had done, the better. He needed to be, held accountable. A few weeks went by, and I got a call from the insurance company. They approved the claim. Can you believe it? $2,000. Well, actually, it was like $1,700 after the deductible, but still. Almost $2,000. I mean, I knew it. I knew he took it. This was just, proof. Official proof that I was right. I felt this rush of, pure vindication. Yes. I mean, okay, part of me, a tiny part, thought, what if he didn't? But then I remembered how shifty he was, how he wouldn't look me in the eye when I talked to him, how he suddenly stopped calling. No, it was him. Definitely him. And honestly, it was kind of a relief. I finally had closure. And money. The money hit my account a few days later. And let me tell you, I did not hesitate. I mean, what else was I going to do? Just sit there and mourn a locket? No way. This was, a new beginning. A fresh start. This was my money, a direct result of someone else's bad actions. I deserved to treat myself. First, the bag. Oh my God, you guys. I had been eyeing this, really gorgeous designer bag for months. It was a classic, Something that would, elevate my whole look. Everyone at work had those fancy bags, and I was still carrying around my old, worn-out one. Not anymore. I went straight to the mall, walked right into the store, and picked it out. It was a beautiful buttery leather, perfect size, and it just screamed I have my life together. It cost, $1,200. Yeah, I know. But it was an investment. And it made me feel amazing. Take that, Paul. You think you can mess with me and get away with it? Nope. And then, the trip. I had always dreamed of going to this resort in Mexico. All-inclusive, sandy beaches, turquoise water, unlimited drinks. Just pure paradise. I found a great deal online for a week. Flights, hotel, everything. I even booked a little extra for some excursions, maybe a spa treatment. Why not? I deserved it. This was my hard-earned insurance money, after all. I posted a few pictures on Facebook, just some subtle ones with my new bag, and then later, some from the beach. Just, living my best life. Not directly, bragging. Just sharing. But I made sure they were, good angles, and I looked super happy. Chloe, my friend from work, commented, "OMG, you look amazing. Where are you?" And I just wrote back, "Mexico. Needed a little getaway." I didn't mention the insurance money or the locket. Why would I? It was my business. When I got back from the trip, I felt refreshed, rejuvenated. And totally broke, almost. But it was worth it. Every single penny. I had the bag, I had the memories. And Paul? He was still distant. Which, honestly, was a relief. Less chance for awkward conversations. But that's when things started to get weird. You know, like, the universe has a sense of humor, but it's a really mean one. So, one day, I'm at work, and my boss, Mr. Henderson, calls me into his office. He's usually, like, pretty chill, but he looked super serious. My heart started doing this little flutter thing. Bethany, he says, we need to talk about your recent performance. And I'm, like, immediately defensive. My performance? I'm doing great. I'm hitting all my targets. Which, okay, maybe not all of them, but I was trying, right? I had just come back from vacation. Give me a break. He started talking about my attitude, and how I was not a team player. He even mentioned how I was constantly blaming others for my mistakes. I was, like, what? Me? I always take responsibility. It's just that sometimes, it really is other people's fault. Like, the other day, Carol from accounting messed up my expense report, and he's blaming me? This was ridiculous. He gave me a formal warning. A warning. Like I was a child. I was so upset, but I just nodded and said, I understand, Mr. Henderson. I'll do better. But inside, I was, like, mentally labeling him as a total piece of work. What a jerk. He was just mad I took a vacation. Or probably jealous. That's it. And then, the family drama started to really ramp up. Remember Aunt Carol? The busybody? Well, she started asking more questions. Bethany, Paul is really upset. He says you accused him of something awful, and he feels like the whole family is looking at him funny. I just sighed. Aunt Carol, he knows what he did. I don't need to spell it out for him. It's just really disappointing, you know? I tried to make her feel sorry for me. But she wasn't having it. Bethany, Paul has been nothing but good to you. He loves you. He'd never steal anything. And that's when she dropped it. Like a bomb. He told me he was at the hospital that day. With Uncle Robert. Robert had a scare, remember? He was in the ER. Paul spent the entire day there with him. He even sent me a picture of Robert in the hospital bed, and the timestamp on it was, like, hours before you even said the locket went missing. He was there the whole day. My heart, like, stopped. And then it started hammering. No. No, no, no. That couldn't be right. Paul? At the hospital? With Robert? I mean, I knew Robert had been sick, but I didn't know it was that serious that Paul would be there all day. And a picture? With a timestamp? I just stared at her. My mind was, like, scrambling. He's lying, Aunt Carol. He's just trying to cover his tracks. I practically yelled it. But she just looked at me, all sad. Bethany, why would he lie about that? Robert confirmed it. Your mother knows, too. Paul was there. And that's when it clicked. Oh, holy crap. The sick, gross feeling in my stomach. The locket. Where was it? I had searched everywhere. But what if it wasn't Paul? What if I had just lost it? No. No, that's impossible. I'm not messy. I'm super organized. This couldn't be my fault. It just couldn't. It had to be him. He was shifty. He sounded guilty. But then the truth, like, shoved its way into my brain. The locket. I remember wearing it to Chloe's place, like, weeks ago. And I had changed quickly before going out, and I just tossed it onto her coffee table, thinking I'd pick it up later. But then we had too many margaritas, and I just forgot. I just totally forgot. Oh my God. I probably looked like a ghost. Aunt Carol just kept talking, telling me how Paul was so hurt, how he cried when he talked about it. And here I was, accusing him, taking insurance money, buying a stupid bag and going to Mexico. Oh, the shame. The absolute, utter shame. But then, my brain, snapped back. No. It wasn't my fault. He should have just said he was at the hospital. Why didn't he just tell me that from the beginning? He let me think it was him. This was his fault for not being more transparent. He should have known I'd jump to conclusions because of how shady he acts sometimes. I mean, he's always so quiet. I got off the phone with Aunt Carol, my hands shaking. What was I going to do? What was I going to say? I had spent the money. All of it. And the locket was probably still sitting on Chloe's coffee table, gathering dust, or worse, she probably thought it was hers now. I tried to call Chloe, but she didn't answer. Probably busy. I left a message, super casual, "Hey, was just wondering if you saw my locket, the silver one, when I was over last?" Like I just suddenly remembered it. I couldn't admit it to her. And then, my mom called. Oh boy. She was furious. Capital F, Furious, Bethany Grace. What have you done to your uncle? He is devastated. He showed me the hospital records, the pictures. He was never at your apartment that day. I tried to gaslight her. Mom, he was acting so weird. He wouldn't even deny it properly. He let me think it was him. He denied it immediately, she shouted. You were just too busy accusing him to listen. Ugh. She was being so dramatic. Typical mom. And then she laid it out. The family is disgusted, Bethany. How could you accuse your own uncle of stealing and then go and spend insurance money on a frivolous trip and a designer bag? Everyone knows. Everyone knew. My stomach dropped again, worse this time. Like a black hole. Aunt Carol. She blabbed. Of course she did. That bitch. I knew it. Always gossiping. So, yeah. My professional life started to, spiral. Remember that warning from Mr. Henderson? Well, it got worse. My colleagues started giving me the side eye. They'd whisper when I walked by. No one wanted to, partner with me on projects. I'd try to contribute ideas in meetings, and people would just look down at their notes. And then, one of my coworkers, Karen, she's such a goody two-shoes, she sent out this email, to the whole department, about integrity and accountability without, directly naming names. But everyone knew it was about me. I mean, my face was burning. I confronted her later. Was that email about me, Karen? And she just looked at me, all sweet and innocent. Oh, Bethany, I'm just sharing general principles. Why would you think it was about you? Please. I knew. I knew she was a little snake. The rumors just spread, like wildfire. Not just about the locket, but about everything. People started remembering little things I'd done, little comments I'd made. How I always needed a loan just until payday and then forgot to pay it back. How I'd complain about other people's work and say I had to fix it, even when I didn't. All these tiny things, suddenly they were big things. It got to the point where my boss called me in again. Mr. Henderson, looking even more stern this time. Bethany, he said, we've received multiple complaints. And your performance has not improved. In fact, it's gotten worse. We're going to have to let you go. Just like that. Fired. Me. Who had put in so much effort. Who had, contributed. I tried to argue, tried to blame Karen, tried to blame the toxic work environment. But he wasn't listening. He just kept saying, it's not a good fit, Bethany. We wish you the best. I walked out of that office in a daze. My job. Gone. Just because of some stupid rumors and a locket. It wasn't fair. It just wasn't fair. I went home and just sat there, staring at my beautiful new bag. It didn't feel so beautiful anymore. It felt heavy. And the memories of the trip? They were tainted. Every time I thought of the beach, I just saw Paul's hurt face, and Carol's judging eyes. And the calls from family stopped. My mom, after that furious call, just stopped answering. Aunt Carol, obviously, wasn't talking to me. My cousins, they unfriended me on Facebook. Like, what? Over this? It was insane. Paul, of course, was radio silent. Which, honestly, good. I didn't need his fake apologies or whatever. I tried to call Chloe again about the locket. She finally picked up. Hey, Bethany. What's up? I asked her about the locket, trying to sound casual. Oh, that old thing, she said. Yeah, I found it, like, weeks ago. I figured you'd call about it eventually. It was on my coffee table, right where you left it. Right. Where? I left it. My own carelessness. My own mistake. And I had blamed Paul. I had destroyed my relationship with my family. I had lost my job. For this. But even then, a part of me was, like, angry at Chloe. Why didn't she just tell me she found it? Why did she wait for me to call? This was, like, her fault too for not being more proactive. She knew how important it was. If she had just called me, none of this would have happened. So, here I am. In my apartment. No job. No family. No friends who aren't giving me the side eye. The bag is still here. The pictures from Mexico are still on my phone. But everything else? It's just gone. I tried to find a new job. Sent out, like, 100 resumes. But nothing. Crickets. It's like my name is, like, blacklisted or something. Probably because of Mr. Henderson. Or Karen. Or Aunt Carol. They probably all got together and, like, ruined my reputation. Just because I made one little mistake. I mean, okay, maybe it wasn't a little mistake. But it wasn't just my fault, was it? Paul should have been more upfront. Chloe should have called me. My boss should have been more understanding. My family should have supported me, not immediately turned on me. Everyone else just contributed to this mess. And Paul? I heard through the grapevine, from some distant cousin who still talks to me sometimes, that he's doing great. He's, like, volunteering more, helping out in the community. Everyone thinks he's, like, a saint now. A total martyr. While I'm just here, struggling. It's honestly infuriating. Do I regret accusing him? No. I mean, it seemed like the logical conclusion at the time. And I got the money, right? I got the bag, I got the trip. That was my money. And it wasn't my fault he was so, like, secretive about where he was. What I regret is how it all turned out. I regret that everyone, like, believed him over me. I regret that my job decided to be so unfair. I regret that my family just, like, abandoned me when I needed them most. I don't care anymore about Paul, or my mom, or Aunt Carol, or any of those fake friends. They weren't on my side. And if they can't see things from my perspective, then whatever. It's their loss, not mine. I'll figure something out. I always do. But honestly, this whole thing was just such a mess. And it's all everyone else's fault for making it into such a big deal.